that he can have another word. He said, what is this? Same word again. And yet the same author, look, he changes 4 times in 2 verses. Watch. The same author for the same word. Now he's changing 4 times to show you that he knows synonyms. 4 times he changes in 2 verses. Watch. He says, كَذَّبَتَ قَبْلَهُمْ قَوْمُ نُوحٍ. He used the word qawm for people. وَأَصْحَابَ الرَّسِّ. He used the word ashab for people. وَثَمُودْ. And without adding an adjective, he conveys the idea of people. This is author of ours. وَعَادٌ وَفِرْعَوْنُ وَإِخْوَانُ لُوطٍ. In 2 verses, he changed 4 times. And yet throughout the Quran, he never changed. Same, Qawm Lut, Qawm Lut, Qawm Lut, Qawm Lut. Now the 13th time, in the 13th verse, he changed. Immediately said, no, look, if an author is doing that kind of one repetition, he must have had a reason. Why keeps on repeating the same word monotonously? Now for the 13th time in the 13th verse, it changes. Now he says, وَإِخْوَانُ لُوطٍ instead of Qawm Lut. It was Qawm Lut throughout, no change. Now he changes. So I said, look, it must have gone through his mind that if I had Qawm Lut here, he'll be 58 qafs. And 58 is not a multiple of 19. He is showing it to us. He said, look, this is an omnipotent, omniscient being doing the job. This is not happening by coincidences. Can't you see? It's not a coincidence. If 13 times it's at Qawm Lut, it will be coincidence. He said, no, 12 times I'm doing it, deliberately. And 13th time I'm changing. Can't you see? Something is going through his mind. He says, look, I know, you'll see it one day. He wants you to see it. That he's at work. That this is Allah's kalam. So Allah says, this is the system that he has established to protect his book from any kind of tampering. Every surah you take, Alif, Lam, Mim. Count the alifs and the lams and the memes. Divide by 19, exact multiple of 19. Ha, Mim. Add the has and the memes. Pull them together, divide by 19, exact multiple of 19. Ya, Seen. Add the yas and the seens. Pull them together, divide by 19, exact multiple of 19. Everyone, exact multiple of 19. All physical, visual. Visual. You don't have to anybody to explain to you, tell you interpretation. No interpretation is required. You count them with your eyes and you see it with your eyes that no human beings or group of human beings could have ever devised this system of protecting a book from any type of tampering. In 1400 years, if we lost a verse with an alif or a lam or a meme in Surah Baqarah, the count would have gone off. In 1400 years, if somebody added a sentence, a verse with an alif or a lam or a meme, your count would have gone off. After 1,400 years, you can count it and you verify it. This is meant exact. Who did it? Muhammad did it? You say he did it? I said, then you have to worship him. He is your God. He is the creator of this universe. He says, I'm not. I'm a man like you. Believe in Allah. Worship him and don't associate partners with him. So Allah says, Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. That it is for us to send down the revelation. For us. And it is for us to protect it. What, you? You going to protect this book? His book, you going to protect it? He says, this is my job. My book. I'll see to it that it is protected. Now, the odds of this book being formulated on this basis, the computer was asked, what are the odds? So the answer was given 626 septillions to 1 against it occurring. The odds, the miraculous nature. And after finding this figure, by the day we are making discoveries. By the day, jokingly we are making discoveries now. Jokingly. I'll show you. Now we find out in the Quran, the number of times numbers are spoken of in the Quran. Like Ahad. Ahad means 1. It's a number. Ithnain means 2. Number. Thalasa means 3. Number. The number of times numbers are mentioned in the Quran are 285 times. Divide by 19. You say 19 times 6 on the dot. The number of times numbers are mentioned in the Quran is a multiple of 19. Now those numbers, add them up. You add the numbers, it comes to 174,591. The value of those numbers. You add them together, it comes to 174,591. Divide by 19. He said 19 times 9,189 on the dot. Now you eliminate the repetition. And what you are left with, you add that remaining numbers. It comes to 162,146. Divide by 19. So 19 times 8,534 on the dot. Who's doing this? Muhammad doing it? And I said, jokingly, we are making discoveries. You see, this discovery, I'm sharing with a Hafiz friend. We were schooling together. Hafiz Musa got some bargain, clothing department in Commercial Road. So I go to him and say, Hafiz Sahab, I says, you know, I have discovered a new angle of looking at the Quran. He said, look, I also, you know, the man is, sometimes some people are so enthusiastic they don't want to listen. You know, now they want to tell you. He said, look, I also came across a man who had a new angle. I said, all right, what's the new angle? He said, you see, he was asking me how many ha-has in the Quran. Ha-has. How many ha-has in the Quran? Some sacrilegious, you know, like you're making a joke. How many ha-has in the Quran? So he said, no, what he was talking about was, he said, the surah was Shams. So وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا قَدْ أَفْلَهَا. So he's reading, he's Hafiz al-Quran, you see, I'm not. The man is reading and I'm doing like that, counting. Ha, 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 ha. When he finished, I said, you know, Hafiz, how many? He says, no, I said 19. Joking. I read a book by Dr. Ahmad Sakar. He calls it Islamic Orations. You know, khutbahs, lectures, sermons. Islamic Orations by Dr. Ahmad Sakar from America. In that book of his, he didn't know what he's writing. He's just writing whatever he found. So he says here, he says the number of times months are mentioned in the Quran 19 times. The number of times year is mentioned in the Quran 19 times. But he didn't know that he was helping us in our research. He's just saying, you know, that 19 times the month is used, 19 times so used, but he doesn't know about 19. So I said, look at it. There is endless research you can do. And you can verify, satisfy. He said, this is not the work of man. And Allah challenges. He challenges. He says, قُلْ, tell them, لَإِنِ اجْتَمَعَتِ الْإِنسُ وَالْجِنُّ عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَأْتُوا بِمِثْلِ هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ لا يعطون بمثله ولو كان بعضهم لبعض ظهيرا. So قل, tell them, لئن اجتمعت الإنس والجن, that if the whole of mankind and jinns, spirits, computers, your wizards, your electric wizards, get them together to formulate the right, compose a book like the Quran. So لا يعطون بمثله, so you'll never be able to produce the like thereof. وَلَوْ كَانَ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ زَهِيرًا. Even if you backed up each other with help and support, you'll never be able to produce the like of this book. This is, my dear brothers and sisters, Mr. Chairman, for us, at each and every word in the Quran, now I realized after seeing this, that each and every word was perfectly chosen, chiseled, placed and counted. It was chosen. There is no excuse. You see, there was in the mind skepticism. He said, maybe, you know, if Allah said like this, you know, he's terrifying people with hellfire, and the psychologist says it's not good psychology. The psychologist is not good psychology. I say, the psychology is mad. That guy Sprock in America, he made millions writing books on child psychology. Now, after 20 years of making millions, now he said he was wrong. His psychology was up the pole. After 20 years, he's made more than 20 million writing books on child psychology. Now he said, he knows this, he was wrong. In the meantime, he made his millions. So when Allah Ta'ala tells you something in the Quran, you know it is coming from an omnipotent, omniscient being. Every word is perfectly chosen, chiseled, placed and counted. And this is the book we have. There is not another group on earth that can produce a book that for 14 centuries it has remained so pure without the change of a dot. Now it is our duty, my dear brothers and sisters, that we take up this book